The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, says it is cutting down on losses as it has begun enforcing measures to increase revenue mobilization. This assurance comes in the face of public backlash over the company's demand for over 200% increment in distribution service charge. Briefing the Energy Committee of Parliament on its operation in the last few months, the acting managing director of ECG, Engineer Julius Pepeka, says they are currently closing the gaps as they have been able to record consistent increase in revenue over the last few months.
The Parliament Energy Committee has begun day 2 of its 3-day monitoring visit to the agencies here at the Electricity Company of Ghana, where a number of issues have been coming up. Let's begin with the acting managing director of the company, Engineer Julius Pepeka, who in his briefing to the committee indicated a number of things. You will recall that the company suffered severe public backlash when they requested that over 200% increment in the distribution service charge, which is currently with the Public Utility Regulatory Committee for a final decision on that. A large part of the conversation has been for the company to reduce its losses and increase revenue before some of those demands can be met by the PURC. The acting MD said they are closing those gaps as it is recording a consistent increase in revenue generation in the last few months, especially in July, where they recorded over 1.74 billion Ghana cedis in revenue.
This year, July, we had our highest ever revenue ECG collected, 1.74 billion Ghana cedis. It's a record, and we want to celebrate that. We want to celebrate that. Mr. Chairman, we have also implemented a number of initiatives to improve our internal processes. We want to reduce the frustrations applicants face in getting power supply or in getting meters. We know we have some issues in some of the districts and regions, and we are working to resolve that. Has asked for a certain percentage increase in the distribution service charge, not in how much customers will pay us. And so ECG is now asking that customers' tariff should be increased by 220%. Absolutely not. And what we are asking for can even be done without any corresponding increase in the end user tariff. We are...
Can you repeat that? Please capture him.
So the distribution service charge can go up without necessarily increasing the end user tariff.
Other key major issues in the public domain has been the conversation over missing containers at the port, some ECG contracts, which over 300 of them have been flagged to be defective. He said they have taken some decision on some of those contracts, as well as the contract between the ECG and Haptel with regards to commission payment. They have reduced that from 3% to some 1.65%, as well as being able to trace some 1,000 containers that have been reported missing.
We have started moving our containers from the port. So far, we've moved over 1,000 containers. Again, when we met in May, the news was that we couldn't trace a lot of our containers. I'm happy to say that we have traced all our containers, and we started moving them from the port. We have also taken steps to address issues around procurement. We identified about 347 contracts that we thought we could cancel, so that we reduce liabilities for ECG and for the government. And the board approved 202 for outright termination, and the rest we are working on them, doing additional due diligence to make sure that we can get out of them. Those that we can terminate, we will terminate them. I'm also happy to announce that HAPTEL and ECG have signed an amendment to the contract, and we have reduced the commission that we were paying to HAPTEL from 3% to 1.65%. We have worked to put in place measures to control expenditure, and so if you take the first half year, we have reduced expenditure from 110 million from last year to 77 million. Okay. And administrative expenses have been reduced 279 million last year to this year only 169 million. And we are working to tighten the belt even more.
We can now hear from some members of the committee and the chairman, especially to some of this revenue generation, as well as the justification they've been making for that increment in distribution service tariff.
When the container issue came up, they went to some shops and places and show us pictures that some whites were having this. Acting director, is it true that we retrieve all the thousands? If we retrieved, it's not entitlement on our part to accuse those people unjustly, or those that are found there are also part of the 1,000
districts to be working. And I'm saying this because ECG within my districts are not working. They don't work. I have too many problems. They don't get solved. Time without number. I have to call regional manager, regional engineer, Kwabena Champo, to complain before I have solutions.
Now, we want to increase your percentage by, I think, money terms. But it would rather be percentage terms, because when he was speaking, he said it should be 30 to 33%, right? That's what he said. But now you are getting around 11%. And when we increase in monetary terms, definitely PURC will increase the other end user tariffs also. So please, we need to look at that. It's very important.
VRA and Energy Commission, VRA, Gridco, ECG, NETCO, and PURC, including the ministry, we will be writing officially to want to meet on this tariff issue. There are certain things we all need to understand. We don't want the PURC to finish their stakeholder meeting, and then when they bring it to us, we will stop it there. No, we want all of us to be carried along.
The committee will continue with its interactions with the VRA, also here in Accra, and then they will move to the Eastern region to interact with some of the other companies there as well. From the Electoral House here in Accra, I am James Savaji for Joy News.